Let's keep working on our page by putting a heading at the very top of the page. We'll do that by going up here to the Elements section, and we'll select a heading. Let's make it an H1 heading, and we'll drag it over above the single picture on the page. Let's click in the box. We'll highlight that and replace it with Lead, Innovate, Sell, and Transform at the speed of digital imagination. All right, so that's not too bad. And now what I'd like to do is probably change the color of that text to make it stand out a little bit more. So what I can do is go over to the color, and let's see, that color is going to be, it's not the font, it's going to be colors. Okay, the color of the text, and I want it to be a nice bright red to stand it out. And there it is. So let's now look at this page. Well, first of all, we'll save it and changes successfully. Then we'll click over here and preview to have a look at what the page looks like as someone comes to the page for the very first time. Not too bad. This image may be a little bit large, so let's think about that. But for the time being, let's go back. We'll click the back button. We're back in the page designer. Here's our page. Now, where did our heading go? Well, let's click refresh, Command R. There is our page refreshed. And let's now add a new block. So we can add a new block by pressing the plus, the blue plus for add a new block. So here I'm given a choice of different dynamic blocks that would be pulling in courses that I may have built. At the moment we haven't built any courses really, so there's nothing to fill into these dynamic blocks. So let's go over and find some content blocks that might be useful for us to describe in more detail what the website is about. We can scroll through here and let's say we want this block, and it then puts it right underneath that initial image. And let's say that I now notice that the blue of this particular block doesn't really match the much brighter blue of the chest t-shirt. And let's imagine that I want to make this blue this blue. How do I do that? Well, I have a little extension loaded into my Chrome browser called Colorzilla. And if I click on that, it lets me pick a color from the page. And if I take the cursor over the blue, I see that that particular blue has a hex code of 0276F1. Now, there it is there. Of course, it changes dynamically as I move around, but let's say that's the blue that I want. I'm going to make a note of that, 0276F1. So let's make this block down here that same blue. So let's turn off Colorzilla by clicking the X. We'll come down to our block here. We'll go into the settings for this block. We'll come down to the background color. We'll click the drop down, and here's the hex code for the blue that it is currently. So let me type in the new hex code of 0276F1, and let me move this up a little bit, and you'll see as I keep moving it up, it tends to look pretty much like the blue on the t-shirt. So let me just play with it a little bit more, a little bit less. Yeah, that's close enough for government work. And let's close our settings. And then let's save our page. Saved everything, and so now you know how to change colors dynamically if you're using the Chrome browser with Colorzilla.